kind of research I think we need in this area is more mechanistically based. What we've got here is a collection of common symptoms, which the subjective experience, again, that's why it's so important to come from the people who've experienced themselves. But a lot of our current research efforts are saying, well, rather than looking at disorders that have been sort of cobbled together, let's dismantle them into symptoms that we can define more clearly. And then because of the advances in neuroscience and our understanding of mechanism, let's see if we can map symptoms onto brain mechanism. That, and not just at the biological level, but also the psychological level. Once we've got some mechanisms, give us a range of treatment targets that we can then build out treatments targeting those mechanisms. They'll work for some people, they won't work for all, and we can begin to work out what works for who. So we'll then end up with a range of targets, which will be based on mechanisms where we can develop rational therapies. And then you'll have a workbox of therapies that can be used in individual situations.
One of the things that we've known for many decades, in fact for more than a century, is about some parts of the brain that control movement. They're specialised for sending signals out of the brain to control the hands and the limbs. But we've begun more recently to unravel where that brain area gets its instructions from. So we're interested in a number of brain regions that decide what to do now. And some of these brain mechanisms are learning very rational rules to govern our choices. These brain areas are very clever and very flexible, and they can learn all sorts of things about how to decide and what to do. And so we're interested in these mechanisms for repeating our choices, switching and doing something else, brain mechanisms for controlling how quickly we act, and brain mechanisms that respond to how good an environment we think we're in.
And there's a relationship between BFRBs and anxiety. When we looked at shame and we put shame into the model, it wiped out that direct relationship between hair pulling and anxiety. Essentially, shame seemed to explain all the variance in that relationship. So that's really interesting, because shame is about how you feel about yourself and what's happening, and often anxiety is about sort of future threat. So actually, if you're hair pulling and then you're worried about being exposed and other people being aware of that and negatively evaluating you, it's understandable that makes you really anxious.
I think what we're providing, if you like, is an understanding of the mechanisms involved in these kind of hair pulling and skin peeling activities, which both explains why people should want to do it, because it's triggering the endorphin system, and that's pleasurable. Giving you a pleasurable sense. It's relaxing you in a stressful situation. It's actually allowing you to relax and manage, cope with this stressful situation, and particularly in the context, say of rejection. It allows you to cope with rejection the same way. In effect, these behaviors are exploiting a perfectly natural system that is actually very, very important to our everyday normal social life.